All right, welcome to Witchpolice Radio. I'm here with a band that is new to me, and I think you're probably relatively new as a band as well. I know I've heard the name before, and I've been following you on social media and stuff, but I think the best way to start this off is if the four of you want to introduce yourselves and give a bit of background about what this project's all about. So whoever wants to go first.
Uh, well, we're Strawberry Punch. Um, but my name's Danny.
My name is Tuva.
I'm Freya.
And I'm Brady.
Cool. And that was very organized. I find that a lot of the time when I'm talking to like a group of people in the same room, it's lots of indecision about who's going to talk next. But that was you've done this before, I guess.
We
So so Strawberry Punch, what I mean, this is the worst question everyone hates answering, but how do you define the sound of what you do? Because I know looking at your website and your social media, you have this kind of lengthy description that incorporates a bunch of different genres and things. So what do you call it? If someone says, "Oh, I hear you have a new band," what kind of music do you play? Is there like a Cole's Notes version that you like to give to define what it is?
I would say like twee-pop, like
Okay.
indie twee.
Yeah.
Yeah, very like grungy, very fun,
Yeah.
fancy, upbeat.
And like to sort of grow on that, definitely taking influence from like 60s girl groups and then also like 90s grunge and kind of like turning it into something new.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I can hear both of those sounds for sure in the recordings. I mean, the girl group stuff is really strong, but yeah, there's also kind of almost pop punky elements, and there's sort of fuzzy parts and heavier, I guess, relatively heavier parts, depending on the song. So, how long has this actually been an active project?
I think we're coming up on 3 years
Okay.
now.
Yeah, we all kind of like we've all been involved in the music scene like for quite a bit of time, but we kind of like came together like I guess almost 3 years ago now, and it's just kind of been a fun uphill adventure ever since. It's
Well,
been great.
and at the time we're recording this, I mean, you just released a record quite recently. So I guess like does this band qualify as a super group of sorts? Because I know you've all been in other bands, and it kind of seems like, oh, here's a bunch of people from different projects sort of all coming together. Was that not the super group idea, but was the idea sort of all of you appreciated each other's other projects and sort of wanted to work together? Is that how this sort of yeah, coalesced?
Yeah, like pretty much like yeah, no, we all had kind of like heard of each other and seen each other play and interact, and it was kind of like Danny who like had the idea to bring us all together separately and like put us in this group chat together. And I looked around, and I'm like, oh my god, I know these guys, and these guys rip. Like it's perfect. And so like yeah, I definitely say so.
What do you think works well? I mean, between the four of you, because again, you've all been in other projects, you've all heard each other play before, doing maybe different kinds of things. Clearly, there's something that has sort of held this together over the 3 years you've been doing it. Is there something about sort of each other and working together that really clicks with you guys?
I think we all have very different influences that work together really well in what we want to accomplish. Like Danny, I would say first thing that comes to my mind for like an influence that you bring to the group is like the indie twee pop, and like you kind of introduced that whole genre to me for sure. And Brandy's studying jazz, and so that's a huge influence there, and like your drumming style and all that, which definitely influences our sound a lot. And then Tuva, you got that folk singer songwriter that you bring to the group. And then yeah, I'm like really into the 90s grunge and that kind of sound, so that's what I kind of bring, and I think that it all works works together to create our sound.
Okay.
And I think like the biggest thing too is that we're just like really good friends who like hanging out with each other. Like at the end of the day, like I think it really works because like we all have these different backgrounds, but like we just like really enjoy spending time together. And so we'll just kind of make everything work.
It's
That's
true.
important.
I think too, as much as we have different influences, and I feel like we kind of each bring a different flavor to like the puzzle, we also have like a lot of stuff in common, which is really nice. And everybody is also very versatile. Like I knew everybody from very different kind of worlds and stuff. Like Freya and I worked together as music teachers at this music school like back in the day, and we both taught guitar but also bass and
Cool.
also drums and stuff. So I'd see Freya like teaching like little kids how to drum and everything, and I was like, oh dang, like she's good everything. That's awesome. But I knew she was like, especially a guitarist, kind of a shredder extraordinaire. And I mean, Tuva has played with so many different bands, and like I'd always see her performing, and I was just like, oh, she's so cool. And then Brandy, actually, another band of mine that was interviewed on Witchpolice. I think the last time I spoke to you, it was with How to Boil Water, and
Yeah.
Brandy. I met her because a friend had like introduced her to me when we were looking for a drummer for How to Boil Water, and it was like, oh, like, okay, she wasn't the drummer for How to Boil Water, but I was like, I don't care about that. I'm actually gonna just start another band with Brandy because I want her to play drums for me, like no matter what. So and I mean, yeah, Brandy too plays like bass and guitar as well. And then Tuva only played guitar when we met. And then like Freya and I taught her how to play bass, and then now
Oh,
she's
cool.
like best bassist in the band.
Oh.
Right?
That's cool. Yeah, yeah. So when you listen to the recordings, I mean, do you, it might be different than what the audience hears, but do you hear all of these different influences and stuff coming through in the songs, or are there certain sounds that have sort of taken over what you do, or do you sort of hear all of these things sort of coming together, maybe in the background if it's not so obvious for the average person who doesn't know sort of what you're all coming from?
Like, I think it kind of very much like depends on the songs, but I think overall we've kind of come to this like, cohesive theme where we very much like we want these four-part harmonies, we want these kind of like jankier guitars for this more of this like, yeah, like 60s pop twee sound. But then like there's certain songs on the album, like songs like If You Touch Me, where it's like that's completely different. And it's kind of, it depends on who writes, like we all write the song, but like who really, like who's writing like the lyrics,
Who's
Okay.
on what?
and who's on what instrument, because it's like a lot of the songs where Danny takes a lead on writing the lyrics, those are like super, like the super catchy, like upbeat numbers, like those are going to be in your head forever. And then like when I'm writing songs, we're getting like emo and like reflective and whatever, like it's very like moody, and it's kind of like that's, it's the strawberry and it's the punch. Like that's, it's the combination.
Do you think the songs are very sort of delineated like that, where it's you can tell sort of if someone's listening hard enough, they can sort of pinpoint maybe who wrote it or who sort of originally brought the song to the band?
I think sometimes. I think
It's-
sometimes you can tell. Sometimes, like, especially being in this band, like, has taught me to kind of like, write songs differently and write in different styles too. So, like, when I'm writing lyrics, like, I'll definitely try and like adapt it to this new genre of music I have yet to explore. So, like, I think maybe sometimes you can tell.
I think sometimes, I mean, like Brandy playing drums sounds very different than me playing drums.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it's because she's like she's like a jazz drummer, and I'm kind of like, oh, so it's like, I mean, there's something for everybody there, I guess. And I think that like you can hear more of our different influences on different songs. Like Jane was like originally Brandy started writing it, and then we all finished writing it as a group, but that one was like kind of very influenced by like Mitski, and then it kind of turned into this whole like moody garage rock number. And then like a lot of the songs that I write are very influenced by All Girl Summer Fun Band, or like the Softies, Tiger Trap, bands like that. But then like Freya comes in and adds this like Pixies, shreddy, noisy lead guitar over it. And like, yeah, or Tuba will come with like a beautiful like little 3-chord folk song and a dream, and then we're like, yeah, let's just like do some really crazy like stuff over it, like, and it's like just all kind of, it's all, we kind of, I think each of us, depending on what we're playing, what instrument, we have our own way of playing that, and you can hear it on every single track. Like it's like, oh yeah, that's Freya on guitar, all right, like nothing like it.
Exactly.
How does it work live? I mean, with all the instrument switching, do you sort of have specific instruments that you're playing for the whole show, or is that happening? So I know you just played a show to release the record, but I wasn't there, but I'm definitely curious if you're bouncing around from instrument to instrument, or if it's just sort of like this is the lineup for this show and these are the way the songs are sort of delivered.
Oh, we do a lot of bouncing around.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure there will come a day where we will be blessed enough where everyone just has like their roster of own instruments like set aside. But right now the biggest support is community, and we love to share our instruments. We just literally we're just running around on stage, and like that, I think it's like part of the charm. It's fun. But yeah, no, it kind of just like we'll try and base our sets around like if I'm playing bass for like 4 songs and we can limit like the switching, we'll do that. But like
Okay.
sometimes I'm switching from guitar to guitar, and that's just that's what you got to do. I do not own an electric guitar or a bass. Like I rely on the band. I come here and there's an instrument for me. And this is what we do, you know. I think it's beautiful.
It's a good system. It's a good system. For the last band I was in, I played guitar and keyboard, and I didn't own either of them. I had a bass, but so I get it. I guess. But what has the reception been to the record? Because I know, again, I mean, at the time we're recording this, this is very new. It's just kind of out in the world. By the time people hear this, it'll been a few more weeks since it's been released. But have you had a good response? It looks like from seeing photos of your show and everything that it looks like a pretty solid turnout.
Yeah, no, it's been wonderful. I mean, I think a lot of people were really excited about this. These are songs we've been playing since we like started as a band, and you know, we've been fortunate enough to have like kind of the same listener base like following us as we grow and like growing with us too. And I think it's just been like, you know, the perfect amount of anticipation, and I'm excited, everyone's excited. It's been really good.
Yeah, I mean, it just came out. It's been less than a week, but it has been a really beautiful time so far. And like our show, it was sold out,
Yeah.
and I think they went over capacity, and it was sad. They had to turn a lot of people away, which but the people that were there were some songs like the singles that we've had out for a little bit longer. As soon as like we started playing that first note, everybody's like screaming, and then they're all singing along to like
That was super cool.
That
these,
That's
was
cool.
you
Yeah.
know, really new
yeah.
songs that like we wrote and just released. And it was like, oh my God, you guys all know the words and you're all like screaming them, like what? So
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
it's been better than I could have imagined so far.
I just wanted to kind of go back to something that was said a few minutes ago about that you've been some of these songs have been around sort of since the inception of the band. Now that they're officially out on a record, how do you feel about these songs now? I mean, do you feel like with any of them you sort of moved past it, but you sort of have to play them now because this is this is the release that people are hearing? Because a lot, I ask this question to a lot of people, and often someone will say, you know, these are songs I wrote 3 years ago. I've been playing them for 3 years. Now that the record's out, I have to play them every night. But I'm done. The band has changed. The sound has moved on to this. Like, do you feel like you're still very much in the same mode as a band as you were when you wrote those songs, or have is the newer stuff when it comes out going to be sort of drastically different?
I think that the songs have slightly evolved with us over time a little bit. And I think the first couple times, I remember our first show, like we were so nervous and like we kind of just butchered everything, and it was a rough one, but we've all grown so much as individuals and as musicians that I think the songs have grown with us too.
Yeah. Like I'm still not done like fully learning guitar for like most of these songs properly, truly in earnest. Like they're still like they might be out now, but in a year from now, I'm gonna learn how to play guitar even more. And so there's probably gonna be something else. Like that just I don't think we're there yet, you
Maybe
know?
you'll even have an electric
I
guitar.
might even own my own guitar. Like they like you don't even like we don't know.
like we're
Yeah.
still in step one.
We're still getting started.
A lot of the new songs that we've been writing to are like in the same vein of like, oh, this is like, hey, fun music for girls to dance to. Come on, y'all. Like that. We still try to write things. I think I have like a very distinctive style, especially not even just for like writing, but for writing Strawberry Punch songs. I feel like almost maybe if you're like a music theory nerd, you can tell which ones are Danny songs
Yeah.
because I have certain things that I always do. So I don't know. I won't tell you more about them because I don't want to ruin the magic. But
Right.
if
People should listen and figure it out for themselves and see if they can identify. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Then another horrible question that people hate answering. But have you figured out sort of at this point where you fit into the local music scene? Because like we've established, you have a lot of different genres happening. There's a lot of sort of even just in terms of loudness and softness and heaviness and not heaviness and pop and all these things, you could probably fit in a bunch of different categories, and I feel like I used to use this word way too much, and I stopped for a while. But you have a very nebulous sound in that it can sort of it's kind of malleable, right? Like, do you have a spot within Winnipeg music that you think you fit, or do you not want that?
I would say we don't really fit into the Winnipeg music scene, but I'd say we fit anywhere we
Yeah.
want to, I guess, because we kind of will, choose certain songs to play, certain songs to not play, lean into a certain sound depending on the show and what we think the vibe is going to be. Because we
Sure.
can be heavier, we can be softer, um, but I would say we don't really fit in a place in the music scene. But I feel like we create our own place, and it's nice
Yeah.
because it's a place for mostly just like queer people and women to like dance around, which I feel like hasn't actually really been that present in the music scene. There hasn't been like a beautiful like island of Lesbos type of space like that, and I feel like we kind of create that vibe around us, and we just get to play with like bands that we love and people that we love come and see us. And so it's like I wouldn't even want to fit in. I would just want to do what we do, and then the people that like it, they come around, and we get like a really broad range of like just like
Young people, old people, all walks of life.
At our
Yeah.
last show, like literally like every kind of person was there, which I thought was so I'd never seen like such a diverse crowd before. Like we had like a bunch of like younger teens with their parents. We had a bunch of
Cool.
like old head guitar dudes. We had like people coming out with their wives. Like it was just like every
the
like
punks,
every
the
yeah,
hot
like
girls,
the
we had
hardcore guys, like everyone. It was crazy, and that was really cool to see that like everyone was coming and hanging out in like the same spot. It wasn't just for like one little niche. It was like everyone's little niche, you know. That's cool.
It is cool, yeah, and it's almost even cooler if it happened organically too, right? I mean, if you're not like specifically targeting all these groups, people just whatever it is about your music that appealed to them, they glommed onto it and decided to show up kind of all at once. That's really cool. What's sort of next for the band now? I mean, the record's out. Obviously, you're going to be playing these songs. You're going to be promoting the album, presumably playing more shows. What's sort of the plan for the near future for this band?
we're going on our first ever tour actually at the end of June. And we'll be playing Pride Winnipeg. We're super excited to
Cool.
play the Pride Festival. We love gay people. And just a lot actually. And yeah,
I couldn't have guessed. Could
No, yeah, our biggest thing is probably like playing Vancouver coming up in July, right? And that'll be like we've never played out of the city before. This will be our first like out of province show. Um yeah.
I think
And
for any of us.
yeah, for any of us.
That's
And
really
so
cool.
many big things coming. New songs, new merch, new adventures to be had.
It's true, yeah.
And then, so if someone's hearing about you for the first time on this show and they want to find out more, what's the best way to hear your music and also to find out, what you're doing as far as shows? It's a podcast. Someone could hear it the day it comes out, or they could hear it like 15 years from now because apparently I can't stop making this show. So it's going to be around forever. So if someone, 5 years down the road or next week wants to hear your stuff, where would you direct them to?
If they want to hear our stuff, it's available on all streaming platforms. We're going to release it on Bandcamp for next Bandcamp Friday, so don't go there
Okay.
yet. But YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, anything like that. And to find out about our shows, I would look up our Instagram, Strawberry Punch Band on Instagram, and you can see us posting all about our shows, little clips from our music videos, which you could watch if you're bored someday. And yeah, that's probably the best place. Our Instagram is to find out all about our shows. We have like ticket links for our shows, links to stream our music, links to our website, which I need to update. It's been a long time, so but you can still find it if you go to our Instagram. So I would say that's probably the hub. The Instagram
Cool.
gets updated regularly.
You should check out the website before it gets updated because it's in its prime right now.
I was on there today and it has a very like early 2000s MySpace kind of vibe to it, which I really appreciated as someone who, that was my first social media in like 2002 or whatever the hell it was. Like, yeah, I get I appreciate the gifs everywhere and the sparkling things, and it was good. It's very good.
The vision. Okay, I'm glad.
Awesome. Awesome.